and welcome to the JA Finance Park session, where we will be learning about wants versus needs. Now, before we get into today's topic, here's a financial thought to think about. Think about what this quote means to you and how it affects your life. Edmund Burke says, "If we command our wealth, we shall be rich and free. If our wealth commands us, we are poor indeed." Think about this as we go through the next couple slides on wants versus needs. During this presentation, we're going to learn about the difference between financial wants and needs and understanding the importance of each of these in our financial lives. We're also going to think about how we can use wants versus needs to make smart financial decisions, and then ways to apply this to our personal lives. Now, financial choices. To reach our goals, sometimes we have to make difficult choices. No one can have all the things that they want, but what's important is choosing how to spend your money and how it can help you meet your future goals, whether they were short-term or long-term goals. Now, let's dive into the differences between wants versus needs. Wants are purchases that are not required to survive, but you'd like to have them in your life. So think of wants as basically anything that isn't a need is considered a want. And when we're looking at needs, these are required for our physical and mental wellness. And the needs you have will vary slightly based on your situation. So the needs that you might have right now as a high school student, middle school student, may be different than the needs that you'll have once you enter the workforce and you're an adult. Now let's look at needs. Again, these include the goods and services that people cannot survive without. And it's important to understand the difference between a need and a want, because let's look at this example. You may need food to survive, but you do not need ice cream. And let's look at other examples of needs. So this can include, again, food, water, air, clothing, and shelter. Now, the needs can be met in various ways. You need water, right? But is that expensive bottled water a need? You need food, but is that bag of potato chips a need? Now, we need clothing, but is a popular designer jacket a need? This is where we start to really think about the breakdown between those needs, those things that are required for us to survive, versus those wants, that popular designer jacket that you want, but do you necessarily need? So when we're looking at wants, this includes goods and services that make us comfortable and content, but that are not necessary to live. Most teens have their basic needs taken care of by parents or guardians. So teenagers are more concerned with their wants, right? And some of those examples of wants include going to concerts, grabbing some fast food, buying that designer clothing, or the newest technology. But when we're thinking about how to choose our money and spending it wisely, think about these questions. So the next time you're going to make a purchase, think about, is this a necessity? Does it sustain me? Does it house me? Is it a luxury? Is this purchase something I can manage without? And also, is it essential to meet a certain goal? These are the different questions that you can think about before making any purchase. Now we're looking at the average family budget, and this is where we can really see how the needs and wants of teenagers vary once you're an adult and have a family. Now, most of a family's budget goes towards housing, food, transportation, because those are the needs of the family. You need to make sure that your family has shelter, whether that's a house, an apartment, food, that necessary food in order to survive. And then transportation is important too, to get to and from school, work, other activities. So before you make your next purchase, think about, is this a wishful want or is this a necessary need? Thank you so much for attending today's session on wants versus needs. Hope you guys enjoy this presentation and take a lot of what we talked about with needs versus wants. And the next time you're making those purchases, is this a wishful want or is it a necessary need? Thank you so much.